You're so cute. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been so long. My excuse, teaching is hard. But I am back and I'm hoping to be a little bit more consistent this school year than I was last school year. So hopefully we're starting off on a good note this time. So for this video, which has been due for a while now, I am going to show you my classroom. I took a poll on Instagram and most of my followers said that they would like to see this video in 4 parts because it would have been a very long, like 2.5 hour video otherwise, so I've divided it up into 4 parts. The first part, the one you're going to see right now, is all about my loud areas in the classroom. The second part is going to be about my quieter areas. The third part is some of the ones that are in between, and the fourth one is the rest of them, and then like a couple of things around the classroom. Just a heads up though, I did record most of the footage for this video during the last week of my summer program. So there are things that you will see that are there that I would not have out for September per se, and I do let you know throughout the video what those things are. But for the most part, I am keeping the same setup, the same layout in my classroom from last school year to this school year. So it kind of gives you an overview of what my classroom will be this upcoming school year too. If I do end up changing something, it will be something slight and small, and you'll probably see any of those changes on Instagram anyway. As of right now, I'm also setting up my classroom for next school year. So I'm probably going to have like a little bonus clip at the end, like a 5th video of my classroom setup for this upcoming school year. So let me just take you into my classroom video tour right now. Alright, so before we begin the tour, let me just tell you real quick how I organize the classroom setup by area. So the first part of the classroom setup you're going to see are my loud areas, which are block, house, and over here, music. I always keep these together, so this is going to be the first part. And then I'm going to take you to the other end of the room, which is my quiet area. So cozy area, book area, writing area. These are my quiet spaces all the way on the other side of the room. And then I have my buffer areas, which are my stand and water table, computer with discovery, and our area right here, and toy area. And I put toy area next to blocks just because toys do get to be a little bit louder than these other areas here. So it's just a little closer to the loud areas over there. All right, let's get to it. So let me begin with this part of my house area. This shelf right here is the kitchen, microwave, refrigerator, stove, sink, oven, and then just little trinkets. So I put my food down here in baskets and I separate them by the food groups. So I have fruits, vegetables, meat, protein, grains, and then in my refrigerator at the bottom I have made foods. I don't know if my students put this back the right way, but something that I can't separate, like I can't take the tomatoes out of here to put in the vegetables, so I'll keep these types of food in this bowl here. These were for my pet unit, but they liked these a lot to give to each other and to like add little sprinkles on their food, so I just kept them here. And then on the top part are my milk and cheese. There's definitely more cheese than that, but I don't know where it is. And then my microwave. And then on top of the actual stove is where I'll put the pots. So I'll keep the pots out right there on the stove. My cups, salt and pepper, measuring spoons, my little baby bottles up there, dish soap and sponge. And on this side I have little hooks. This came in when I came in the classroom. These were already on there, so I just kept them. Dustpan, these actually go here. Dustpan, I have a picture here, labeled, and then I use the other hooky for any job tags that I have in the classroom. So right now we had a beach sort of setup, and they can come in and take one of these to pretend to be one of these people, or they could not. I mean, it was up to them, but these are their choices, and this is where they put the little job tags when they're done. I do try to keep everything as labeled as possible so the kids know exactly where to put things back in. So I just take the picture of the actual item and put it on PowerPoint, print it out, and stick it there with these pocket labels from Target. I think they come 20 to a pack and they're $3 each pack, so go get those. They're the dollar spot in Target. This doesn't really go here, but during the school year my students use this a lot here for problem solving, so it just kind of made its way here at its home. I might have to label it, but I think next school year it won't start there anymore. It won't start right there. It'll start where it usually goes, which is behind my computers. That's where I have my timers. But for now it stays there. I'll clean the room very soon anyway, so I'll put it where it goes, but it's working right now. And then down here in my oven I have some extra things that the kids might make. They made little ice pops. They're probably gonna make snow cones soon, and they have a bag of chips here. They cut it out and put the chips in there. And this was part of our dramatic play scene, which was the beach this week, this month, this theme. And this on the side is my second theme shelf. So for Eckers, you're supposed to have 2 themes in your house dramatic play area. So the way I incorporated that was to have one shelf specifically that can change throughout the year as I change themes. And that's what this shelf became. I used to have, I believe, like my pots and pans and other stuff here, like a pantry sort of thing, but it just didn't work out that way at the beginning of the year last year, so I changed it to my second theme shelf. So I might put some pictures here of like all the themes that this shop has been, but for now, because it's the beach, I have some sand toys, I have some sunglasses, sorry about that, money, towels, and then at the bottom I always keep a little bin of books that are related to the theme or to the house area, and then like a little writing caddy down here. And then here are usually the posters. Sometimes it'll be like a snack menu or any sort of shop menu that goes up there, or the actual theme sign so that they know what it is. And then usually I don't have it like printed out like that. I'll have them make their own signs, so it'll be more child made. On top, I do keep a little bit of water bottles, so they'll come in on Monday, put the water bottles there, fill them up, and they can just drink water throughout the day. Throughout the week, they take them home on Friday. And right here is my little high chair, which right now is a lifeguard stand, so keeping it there. All of these things, and a lot of them, actually a lot of like my dramatic play stuff, I get from Bucket of Preschool on TPT, which is really good about having a lot of this stuff already made, and then the kids can label it on their own. Like I had kids label towels and floaties and sunglasses, so you get your child-made labels that way too if you're thinking of Eckers. And then on this side are all my clothes and some stuffed animals. So the way I have my clothes, it doesn't look like it right now because it's a hot mess, but I will hang up all my job clothes on hangers, and I might change this up a little bit too this school year, because I do have a lot of clothing that are ceremonial for certain cultures, and I want to make sure that I am telling the kids about it so that they're not just using it, you know, like as regular clothes or like some sort of cloth. So I'm gonna have to go through that. But other than that, I separated my tops, bottoms, hats, and then the baby clothes are here. I do have a label for baby clothes, but because they were really into baby clothes last week. There it is. And yeah, so anything that goes on the top half of your body goes up here, anything that goes to the bottom part goes here. And I don't have a bin or a hanger or a space for like multicultural clothes, just because that would be othering the culture. So it's like, these are regular clothes and these are the other multicultural clothes, which is not really the case unless they are ceremonial clothes, which unfortunately a lot of stores have this idea that this is a Peruvian clothing, it's a poncho, and it's a headdress, and I'm like, no, that's not really what we wear all day, every day. Or not all Peruvians wear that. It's like a certain part of the culture or a certain group within our country. So I'm trying to figure out a way to make them understand that, you know, it's not others. It could be part of our culture here in the United States, because we are all made of different communities and heritages. So no, I'm not gonna other like any multicultural stuff. And I do the same thing with books. I don't put like a multicultural book over there, or the fruits. It's not like this fruit right here, it's multicultural because we don't see it in the States. Like, it's a fruit, it goes with the fruits. So you get what I mean. And this shelf became my pantry. I think this was also like an extension of my clothes at some point, but because I had to move a lot of this stuff from here, it ended up just being my pantry. I have baskets at the bottom, and then I separated these little foods into bottles, plastic bottles, boxes, and then cans. That way, if we don't get to a recycling unit, they can still kind of understand the separation of that. Utensils, and then bowls and jars. And then here are my fantasy clothes. So I have a flower and I think some sort of dinosaur thing here, and my bags. So fantasy clothes on one side, and I think I have bags on the other. Yep. Summer students are not putting it where it goes, but it's okay. It'll be okay. And then babies. So that is my house area in a cinch. Above it, I have my birthday graph, and this is where we do our birthday traditions. I also have the beach thing that they came up with at the beginning of this unit, but I'll take that down soon. For the school year, I do birthday traditions, kind of like a Reggio Emilia sort of thing. I kind of copied it from them. We don't do birthday parties or celebrations that, you know, have a lot of sugar involved. What we do instead is we will have the birthday child bring an all about me bag that we'll share during morning meeting with the class, and then throughout the day during work time when they go in their areas, the child will decorate their little, we had a canvases last year, so they created it and then they hang it back up on their month in their space up there, and then at the end of the year they all took it home with them. And then the other students, while the child is making the little canvases in our area, are making them a big poster, and I have a lot of those posters downstairs in our resource room. So I'll just bring one of those up, I'll put happy birthday whoever, and every child comes in to sign, draw, make something for the birthday person that day. And then if the parents or families want to come in and share something about their students, they can come in and do that during our story time, or if it's feasible for them to come any other time of the day, then I'll arrange that with them so they can come in and read a book or like share baby pictures of them growing up. So it's a very nice inclusive sort of festivities that we do. If we want to sing happy birthday, we will, but it doesn't center around like a cake or balloons or the presents and all that extrinsic stuff. It focuses on the child itself. And then I also realized that like a lot of families don't quite do parties. So I had to be conscious of that and just let them know this is not a party. We're just literally saying just happy birthday to the child and getting to know that child better. So the children whose families do not celebrate birthdays can still partake into this sort of tradition. And there are parents who, you know, might feel like, oh, every child that has a birthday party, I have to bring the cupcakes, I have to bring the pizza, I have to bring whatever. And they might not be able to, they might not have the time to come and do it, so they don't feel like they have to anymore, and it kind of like relieves them a little bit too. I forgot to mention that on this table, usually I'll have my cash register there with like a clipboard with like sign-ins or some sort of receipt for the things that they're selling. For now they're away just because I'm getting ready to put everything away and close up shop for the summer, so that's what there's at. In the beginning of the year, I don't have all this stuff out. I will be taking out a lot of the clothes. I will be taking out a lot of the extra bins and cans and things from here. The only things that I might keep are a few of the foods to help them start sorting and understanding the food groups. The salt will be there, some cups, bowls, and spoons. I'll probably just keep some of the working clothes, just because we are going to be talking about our community and all that beginning of the year stuff. So I'll probably keep that hung up, and then that will also serve me to teach them how to hang up and how to use the hangers, because that is very tricky, especially for my little ones, for my 3-year-olds. So we'll get into that. Ace will not be as full. And over here, I'm not really sure. I might just have my caddy with writing utensils and books. And our pet over there, this I got for my pet unit last year, and my students loved it so much they wanted to keep it year round, so I just kept it there. So maybe that might be it on this shelf until we start adding more things after September. All right, so next is my music area, and there's my sign right there. It has this rug in front of it. This is the rug that I use to define the space, the area. It was not my first choice, or second or third actually, but it was the only rug, a small rug I had in the classroom, so it is what it is. Until we get enough money to get another one, we'll keep this one there, but it is small enough for them to define themselves in this music area, and they're not just like all over, which can happen at the beginning of the school year. But I teach them just to stand in here and to make sure that they have enough space to move around and to use the instruments and sing within that rug. So on this shell on the top, I have my radio, which I use to do transitions musics or any large group musics that we are using, or if we have a party or something, I'll put some music in there too. I have a lot of CDs. Like, these are not even half of the CDs I have. I have a lot of the high scope rhythmically moving stuff for our rhythm sticks for large groups, and then I have another bookcase with music books, so anything that they can sing to, or read and sing at the same time is up here. I do have a songbook. However, because we use it a lot for transitions in our whole area space in the block area, I also have it here, and it just kind of keeps moving from here to the music area over there. Kids just kind of come and grab it. So I'm thinking for next year, I'm going to make 2 of these. One I'll keep here with me for transitions, and the other one will stay in the music area for them to use and sing to for work time. At the bottom, I have bean bags for them to toss and play beanbag games. Some of the scarves that they use for dancing and movement. And back here, I do have a movement basket with some of these little cards that we have gone over so they know how to use them. This is the large group that we did last week. It's called Little Fish. So they come here and they can redo the large group activities that are music and movement related on their own during work time. And at the bottom, I have my instruments. So I have a basket of instruments here. Some of them we actually made last year. They really like doing that. And then our rhythm sticks, which are very important for this age group. I will probably switch these baskets to the ones that are more brown, to these types of baskets here that I got from Dollar Tree last year, just because these are smaller and I can probably fit them better than I have here. I just ran out of them last year, so this is what it ended up looking like. But I am going to switch the containers and relabel them too, because I put the labels in the front of these bins, and yeah, the kids can see it and it's see-through and it's okay, but I much rather have them on the side too, so they know where to put each container. They've kind of just been doing it on their own, which is fine, and it's not that many, so they can do it on their own, but I much rather they see the label, read the label, and get that print awareness going with them when they put the stuff away. So next to my music shelf is just another little shelf over here. This is where they take their attendance every day. They put their names from home to school and then from school to home. And then on the side, which I have to fix in a little bit because that's falling, is my morning routine chart, so they can come in and read it and know what to do in case they forget. But that is my music area in a cinch. They are not allowed to go in here just because that is a teacher space. And they've been pretty good about it. Last year they were pretty good about it. This year hopefully they will be too. And that is it. Alright, so next is my block area, and this is my biggest area thus far because I also use this area as our meeting area, large group area, story time. Anytime we have whole group instruction, it's done here. And I have my block shelves on the side. To be quite honest with you, I don't like having shelves against the walls because it just takes up so much good wall space for them to see, and I usually like keeping things at their eye level. But these shelves are super tall and super huge, and I couldn't use them to divvy up the areas like I use these shelves per se, because they're shorter and I can see straight across the whole room without any blockage of view. So I had no choice but to put these up against the wall. Same thing with this big one over here in the toy area. So it is what it is. Had to work with it, and I try to make up for it by using the backs of the other shelves that I have. It's a mess down there, guys. It's a whole hot mess down there. I'm definitely redoing this whole back for September, and I'm probably going to laminate the paper and put Velcro in the back, because so far it's not laminated, and I put a lot of stuff here with just tape. I'll go over that in a second, but for September we'll laminate the bulletin board paper, redo it, and put Velcro on this shelf, maybe this shelf here, to have it be more durable throughout the year, and some things like this don't happen. And then on this side over here, the shelf, since I'm already on this shelf, I usually put our classroom rules and agreements on this side. I am going to change it to, I think it's called, no, I forgot what it's called, classroom. It's not rules, it's something else that I saw on Instagram. Britt Hawthorne, I think, was the one that mentioned it. So I'm going to look it up, and I'll type it up here somewhere. But it's not, the language changes, so they take ownership and are more connected to the rules, as opposed to saying these are our rules, these are the classroom rules. No, it's something that they're all contributing. So I'll put that here, and then everything else on this shelf I use to put pictures of things that have to do with the unit of study that we're doing that month, 8 weeks, whatever it is, so they can, one, learn them obviously, and then two, they can start building those structures or buildings or locations in the block area. So for July, for the summer program, we were doing the ocean theme, so I put a lot of different ocean views from all over the world there for them to copy. And I added this little bin of ocean animals. These are like some Dollar Tree animals, because I didn't really have any in my classroom, for them to use during work time in the block area. However, this right here is my little shelf of block area toys, you could say. These are things that they usually use during work time in the block area after they build structures. So they have some signs here. These block mates, this is the first year I ever used these, and they're amazing. They can make like different type of vehicles. There's vehicle ones and there's an animal one. And I just realized this as I'm telling you guys. There's some vehicle ones, and then there are some animal ones. I think I have like an elephant or a goat and a pig. So they can do both types of things with the blocks. They just get the unit block and they build around it. As you can tell with everything in my classroom, I try to make sure I have double labels if this is not see-through. So we'll have one label on the bin and then one label on the shelf, so the kids can clean up on the bin as they go and then put it right on the shelf where it goes. This one doesn't have one on the bin here on the basket, just because it's a hard basket to put. I put the label in the middle of the basket, so like when they're using this and they forgot this is a science basket, they can just look at this picture here and stick them all in and then stick them on the shelf. I need to clean up. Ugh, it's dusty. So yeah, at the beginning of the year, I definitely have some people out for them to do family construction, build their houses and stuff like that. I have some vehicles, like your typical community type of vehicles here that they see and are used to. And then I have some pet animals here, because even if we don't do a unit on pets, they can still, some of them might be familiar with them, especially the dog and the cat. I need to get a new dog because his tail's broken. Yeah, it's just a more familiar theme for them when they come into the school in September. And yes, I definitely do have to get a new dog, because this is unacceptable for Eckers. It can't have broken toys, broken anything. So I'm going to have to throw that puppy out and get a new one, or hopefully have my school provide me a new one for now. Next to that shelf, I have this empty shelf, which again, I will have to laminate and re-stick. Don't really know what happened here. Like at the end of June, it started to just pop off. Honestly, I don't know. It was fine all year. But I'm going to redo it for September. And this is where I keep my classroom jobs chart over here. And on this side is just another empty space for me to put any sort of graphs or any work that the students do, especially that has to do with measuring or blocks. And then on this side here is where I usually put their pictures of them working in the block area. So any action shots or anything like that, I'll put on this little wall, and then they can easily go see, check it out, maybe redo something that their friends has done or something that they have done before. It's pretty, they use it a lot actually, and as you can tell, I'm gonna have to like maybe do another bulletin board on top of this so it doesn't look all raggedy, but yeah, September. And these are my blocks. These are all the blocks that I have out now, and these are usually the blocks that I have out in September. I know it's a lot, but I don't have anywhere to store them. I have about 2 boxes of extra blocks in my storage space already as it is, so I just breathe through it in September. I make sure that we go through each block. Each student knows exactly where to look for when putting the block away. We practice taking it out and putting it away, not even building. Like the first week is just practicing cleaning up and putting everything where it goes. But I need to make sure that they do know where it goes, and I need to label everything. So I have different types of labels for them. Most of them are just like the picture of the block and the actual block that goes on top of it, so they can just stack it up by the shape. They just match the shapes to each. But then I also have just my regular labels on the bin and on the shelf, or just on the shelf if it's something they can just stick on top. And then this mess over here is my construction workers pretend play. If they want to be construction workers as they're building, they can. I don't know if it's allowed for actors. I would think it is, because it doesn't interfere with play per se. It doesn't interfere with building. It kind of just adds to it. I haven't had any issues with it before, but I have heard some people say that technically isn't supposed to go here. I don't know. Some of my students in the summer though, like they're getting confused because these are all like the little triangle ones, and I didn't specify, I didn't go over it in detail at the beginning of July as to how to put these away, so that they even put in all these little ones there, even though these don't go there. But it is what it is. That's my fault. That was on me for not going into detail about where all of these blocks go. I also have arches, some recycled blocks over here, and hollow blocks down there, and soft blocks here, because we need to have different types of blocks in the block area, not just one. And I think it's supposed to be like over 300 of them or something. I don't remember, but here they are. Here are all my blocks, so they get to use every single day. And this is actually how they've cleaned it up. Like, it, as you can tell, it's not perfect, but they try, especially without me having to specifically tell them where everything goes. They've done a pretty good job. In this area, I also have this book, which I got from Pocket Preschool. I get a lot of stuff from her, so you'll see that all around. But this is where I have them make a plan. Sometimes they'll make like a structure of the blocks that they want to use, and then they'll go ahead and make it. So they'll sketch it out and then make it on their own. So you can tell they do use this quite a lot, so it's kind of fun. I need to refill this book up for September, but they do it, and then they ask me to take pictures to put up on our wall over there. So it's very useful. They start getting used to making a plan, figuring it out, working together, especially because a lot of this is teamwork that they do. So it was good. I had these. I need to make it into a ring. I need to put the ring on this. But these are freebie somewhere on Pinterest. I'll try to link it down in the description box. But these are different structures that they've used and made. Some of them are simpler than others. Yeah, there's like the cover. Especially for my little ones, my 3-year-olds coming in September, they might not have had enough exposure to block building. These are good for them to look at and try to imitate before doing anything else. So yeah, these were freebies, so I'll link that down in the description box if you want to get that. But I'll put that with my book here, and if there's any books that pertain to building or construction for the units, I'll put that in this bin as well. And then next to that, it's my little caddy, which has writing utensils that I need to sharpen. I'll put more there. I usually put crayons there too at the beginning of the year and not just pencils. And then I have these little popsicle sticks solution kit with all of our little solutions. This was actually in the room when I got here, so thank you whoever made these. It works perfectly. If they ever have a problem, any conflict that happens during work time in the blocks, they can just come up here and use this on their own to try to figure out a solution. This starts working a lot better like after January, once everybody has had a turn to practice and we've modeled and we've done all that stuff. But it's always good to have just in case. Even if they don't do it on their own, you can still come and show them and model how to use these as you are helping them solve their problems. So yeah, I keep one copy here, and I do keep a copy in the house area over there because these are like the most conflicty type of areas. But the one over there is on a ring, so it's on the caddy too. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't put it on the ring yet, so it's just the pictures. They have used it. I just put the pictures in the caddy and they've used it before, but I think I'm going to put them on the ring again and just stick it up on one of those hooks that I showed you earlier, and just that's his house, that's where it's going to be, that's where it's going to stay if they need to solve any problems on their own. And then it's my smart board and my dry erase board easel thing. I have large group stuff down there. I have my schedule over here, my daily schedule, and a job. I do have a job that is to move our little pencil from one part of the day to the next. So somebody gets to do this every day and they move it. I would suggest to start doing this with the younger ones, or anybody who might have some transition issues at the beginning of the year. Have them be the helpers, have them show you how, or show the class how the job is done before starting to give them the choice to pick a job. So everybody gets to see how the job is being done and they get to practice each time of the day and hopefully have less anxiety when transition time comes. I am going to redo these though because they are a little small. I want them to be a little bit bigger, like to fill up all up here, and they can be better seen by the students. I didn't really have that many issues with that this year, but I still think it should be a little bit bigger than what they are right now. And then under my beautiful easel, which is my message board over here, I have all things that I need to do the message board and large group activities and transitions. I'll have like my books over here to read during story time, and my songbook, because I definitely use songs as transitions a lot. And then over here, like my warmie can, large group. Kids really like this activity a lot. I put it in the music area sometimes too. Then I have my equity sticks. I shouldn't show you their names, but I will take popsicle sticks, put their names on it, and then whenever I have to pick randomly, I just get this right out. And the kids know it, they know it's fair. They don't really get, like, they might get upset the first few times because their name didn't get called first, but after a while they understand the gist of it and they understand that it's fair, so they have no problems with that whatsoever after a while. My dry erase markers, my pointer that one of my students got me last year as a present, so that was really nice, and I use it and she knows I use it, so she loves it. Then up here I have my greetings for each in the mornings. So in our school, the parents just kind of bring them in when school opens and they stroll right into the classroom as they get here. I don't have to go get them anywhere, or they don't have to line up and we all come in. So instead of greeting them at the door every time, and I tried having a greeter at the door, but I never really knew who was going to be here first, second, third, you know. So instead what I do for greeting is we'll come to the rug after everybody's here. We'll start our day for morning message, and we'll sing a good morning song, and then we'll sing a greeting song. And whoever the greeter is for that week gets to stand up and go around the students, and the students will choose one of the greetings. So if they want to give them a high five, the students will just hold their hand out and wait for the greeter to come and give them a high five. If they want a fist bump, they just put their bump, the little fist bump up, or shake hands. Those are the 3 options that I give them at first. I will add more later on in the year as they get better at it. And they might also get bored with these 3, so I'll add more as the year progresses. But the greeter goes around our rug in the mornings and just looks at whatever kind of hand they have out, and that's the way they greet them. And then we sing a song with that as well to get everybody saying each other's names and saying hi to each other, and that's it. And I got the song from Pinterest too, I think. I don't remember where I got the song, but I'll link it down in the description. On top of my blocks, I have what I'm calling my social studies bulletin board. I have my standard over there already, but this is where I'll put anything that's social studies related or any action shots of them doing something that has to do with being a good community. And then in this corner is my little bucket filling station. I personally don't like the whole extrinsic motivation thing that comes along with bucket filling, just because I feel like students get lost in, oh, look at me, I'm doing something good, or look at that, or look, I need another pom-pom, I need another thing. And they kind of push that whole being kindness to the back because they just want the pom-pom or the prize or whatever. So our school is a bucket filling school, so what I've done, instead of using the regular book, I bought this young children version, which literally just focuses on the ways to fill the bucket, on all the positive ways. It doesn't really go into bucket dipping. It doesn't have a page saying that you can be a bucket dipper or whatever. It's just, it focuses on the positives, and we know that at this age, whatever you say, the children will hear and do. So if you tell them no running, they're gonna run. If you tell them no blah blah blah, they're gonna do it. So instead of doing the no and the dipping, I focus on the positives. So I read them this, and then at the end of the school day, we do a little closing circle, and I got these off TPT. I'll link them down. And these are more for elementary school kids, so I had to like really go through them and try to figure out which one will work for like 3s and 4s. But like, say we all go around and we'll say, everybody has to say one nice thing about the person sitting next to you. And so we do that, and since everybody has said something nice, everybody gets to put a little pom-pom in the bucket and we fill it up. So that's the way I've kind of like compromised with bucket filling in my classroom. I don't do it all day long every day. I don't try to make it as extrinsic as I have seen it done. I know it is a good thing to make sure that we are being kind to each other, that we are teaching them social skills, but at this particular age, everything is super concrete to them. So they might relate the pom-poms to their own sense of self. And if they notice that they are not the ones getting the pom-poms, or they are not the ones seeing somebody else being good, then they might feel like they are not as kind or as good, and I don't want that. So we do it all as a classroom, all together. Every single one of them says something nice about the person next to them, or says something that they liked, or said something that made them happy, and we all put in a pom-pom in the bucket as a class, and we celebrate the class. I'm definitely more about cooperation than like this person did this and that person did that, or trying to compare them. Like even when they're sitting down, like, oh, look how nice she's sitting. No, we can all sit nicely. Let's all sit nicely. That's it. That is it for the first 3 areas. I know it's kind of like abrupt because I literally just had to cut the clip to make all these 4 videos, so it's kind of weird. In the next video, you will see my cozy corner and all my quiet areas, so keep a lookout for part 2 of my classroom tour, item 4. So as always, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like it, comment, hit the notification bell. I have never said that before, so I think that's something I'm supposed to say. I don't know. And yeah, just share it with your friends. Hopefully it helps you out a little bit. I know I definitely like looking at other people's classrooms and just getting ideas here and there, even if it's not completely the same or everything is exactly what I do. So yeah, hope it helps, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!